I just want to make a quick video about this Truax seed spreader. It's one that we bought for work for some restoration of some Alvar and Prairie sites. And we were looking to, do some seed spreading and restoration with some native seed. And in one case, we could get a seed drill in, and in another case we just could not. And so instead of paying a company to do some seed drilling and again trying to solve the problem of this one site where a seed drill would not be able to get in there at all. It was too rocky, it's too wet to get into the site, and so a seed spreader was the only real option. And we tried a kind of conventional, ATV kind of vehicle mounted spreader that is more meant for like salt and grass seed and stuff, and it just didn't work. Kept getting clogged up in the native seed, into the fluffy native seed, just kept clogging it, and we actually had to have someone in the back with like a stick, kind of like just getting rid of it every kind of like loosening it up. So one of our seed suppliers recommended a product called the Truax seed Slinger, and we looked into it, and it had to be imported from the States, and it's an American company. And oh look, there's some kind of little weasel. That's awesome. Hello, how are you? What are you doing in here? Making a video about the seed slinger. Okay, see ya. Anyway, so we looked into this, and it was imported, and just want to make a video about it because initially when I was looking into this, it was pretty difficult to understand, whether or not it would work. But anyone who had used Truax products before recommended it. But anyway, I just wanted to give an overview of what this is and some of the modifications we've made to it. So this is the electric version of the seed slinger, and again, it's designed, from what I've read and now from my bit of experience, designed for native prairie particular seed. So there's an electric version and a manual version that kind of goes fits over on your chest, like with a harness and like a hand crank, whereas this one is meant to be vehicle mounted, and has hooked up to the battery and that kind of thing. Has a little motor on the side. So it's meant to be mounted on the back, just an ATV, just a quad, but from an old, there goes that weasel again. From an old, seed spreader, the one that was meant for grass and salt, that just didn't work. We kept the hitch mount of it, and we got just a local welder to add a kind of bolt and weld on this hitch mount to the bottom of this existing plate that came onto it. So we kind of got them to add this piece here, so that way we wouldn't have to use these rods that would kind of meant to be more it didn't come, sorry, what I should say is it didn't come meant to be put on a hitch. It was meant to be, have some kind of arms that attach to these two rods here, and then it can be kind of bolted to the back of a quad. But we really wanted to be able to put it on a UTV, and so we modified it to make it mountable on a hitch mount that we already had. And then these two pins can be taken in and out for mounting it and taking it off and making it smaller and all that. So that's the first modification we made to it. The second, again on recommendation, was it came with this hitch for the switch for on and off, but we added a longer cord to it, so that it would reach a UTV or a side-by-side battery, or a boat battery you could use too. And then we also added another I guess there's another switch, but the main thing is you can dial it up and down so that you can control the speed of how much and how fast it's spreading, particularly for places where you're going slower because it's bumpy or something like that. It obviously seeds less if you dial it down from its default power, because its default is just on or off. But we want to do that so that we could control it and not burn through seed too fast, because by its default, the way it's just manufactured, and not burn through our seed when it was bumpy and that kind of thing. So we added the hitch mount for an ATV or UTV, and we added this longer cord, and that was the extent of the modifications that we made to it. Like I say, this is the electric one with the motor on the side. It has the lid, and it has a kind of a switch here that is a safety, so that if you were to open this up when it's spinning, it would stop working. It's got 2 hoppers. It's got one big one with this kind of agitator, I guess, for lack of a better term, for the big, mainly I guess grass, fluffy grassy. And then it's got this other hopper that's more for like flowable little, almost like chia seed like seeds is the way I think of it. But it does have like this tiny little wire inside that's hard to see, that kind of moves back and forth and kind of keeps the seed flowing. So it's not just gravity. It kind of just shuffles it along out the bottom. And so it's this little wire like right here. It kind of just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so you've got the grass. So you can mix it and put it all in there, but then you've got the 2 hoppers there, and then it comes down, and then again the spinning wheel here, which is I think a lot more like normal grass salt spreaders. The one thing I would say about this is that I think the one weak spot is this little called a set screw there. It kind of keeps the spinning plate tight to the shaft that spins behind it, and that is just like a hand tightened. Well, I guess you could use a drill, but we tighten it, but then it loosens itself, and actually lost it when we were using this last. And so I feel like that's the Achilles heel of this thing. So having extra set screws, I think, is pretty important. Beyond that, it worked great for prairie seed when we've used it, and then we kind of have one person driving, and then we have one person in the back with the seed, kind of watching when the seed spreader runs out, because it doesn't have a huge capacity. And then watching whether the seed is right, spreading right, and again, watching when it's out, so then we stop, refill, and then keep going. And I think it's probably a good strategy that every time you refill, you tighten that little screw. But anyway, like I say, this is the setup that we have for this neat little gadget, and it's worked well for the bit of use that we've gotten out of it. And hopefully it will continue to do us good for a long, long time.